Boom. And I think we're live.
Oh, yeah. I think it's time.
I think it is time. Today is a tennis day. Good morning, Crypto Warriors, and welcome back to the Gem into Crypto, episode 140.
Oh, yeah.
Today is Friday, April 6th, and I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
And today is a tennis day.
Very
What's going on, Canadian crypto? Welcome. We'll let a couple of you all flow into the chat right quick.
Oh, yeah. Get over
there
there
we
now.
go. Game Peeper, good morning, good morning.
Everybody on Instagram.
On the ground. On Instagram at KRBE Crypto, of course. Tessa Hall, good morning.
On, Tessa?
All right, so for the free Bitcoin yesterday, who won?
So for the free Bitcoin, nobody won because nobody put in the comments. We may have had one late entry that I was trying to look right before we got on, but earlier when I looked, there was no comments. So no free Bitcoin today, unfortunately.
What? I thought I saw like two roll in. P-Man Van, what's going on? They said P-Man Van said he's watching from Mexico. There we go.
My man.
There we go. All right, we'll get into a different one today. Starting the day off, it's quite unfortunate, but one has reared its ugly head out. We have a new Dino of the day. It's been actually, we went on a good 2-week span without one, but let's go ahead and look at this mentally old person or group of persons here. It looks like macroeconomic researchers call Bitcoin worthless. Wow. I mean, that's one way to say it. Talking about Bitcoin when it's been down, Capital Economics, a London-based macroeconomic research firm, has warned that there is no light at the end of the tunnel for Bitcoin investors. They said the number one cryptocurrency will underperform stocks and bonds going forward. Oh, it hasn't done it yet, but going forward it will. Because it's essentially, quote, unquote, worthless, according to an updated published by Capital Economics and obtained by CCN. There's a few other things they said about it. They said Bitcoin's correlation with equity prices has strengthened recently, but we think this would be just temporary. No real evidence. They're just saying that. We think that Bitcoin is essentially worthless, meaning that it is likely to fare much worse than other assets in the coming months. Wow, way to be a good investor to think of just months. We're not talking about years. We're thinking months.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to take advice from you all. What matters is Bitcoin's fundamentals, as a quote from him again. And nothing has happened recently to suggest that it has any more of a future than when we looked at it in detail a few months ago. So we talk about new technological upgrades every day. Yesterday, we were just talking about new tech upgrades in the space that no one talks about.
Just got a new wallet.
That they don't pay attention. And this guy says, or this Capital Economics group out of London is saying nothing has happened recently in the last few months since we looked at it. Yeah, well, guess what? 1 month in Bitcoin is like, 3 to 4 months in regular life. So yeah, if you haven't looked at it 3 months ago or a few months ago, then you're severely behind the curve.
Who paying?
He said he hasn't looked at it in a few months. The last time he looked at it, Bitcoin was 20K.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
So you're going to trust people who only look at it every now and then versus people who are in this every day, like us or a few other people. We deal with this every day, and they look at it once every couple months. Like, well, looks like it's down again. It's headed for destruction.
Well, and one last line from them. They're quoted as saying, there is a connection between Bitcoin and the basic social mood and the speculative animal spirit. So not only that, he's calling you simple-minded investors animals.
Yeah.
I will say
Conjuring up spirits.
Right. I will say this article probably has the most comments I've seen on CCN in a while, 91 comments. With the top one, of course, everybody upvoted saying somebody must be paying CCN a lot of money to post this whack stuff. Bitcoin has been deemed worthless and dying for a long time now. But yet all we hear is Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Still think it's worthless. Think again. Yeah. I mean, for one, hopefully we'll be in London this year to set up our base. So we're gonna come see you, Capital Economics, front door, same way we did FINRA. We're gonna have a camera going because. How do you even consider yourself a legitimate firm making blanket indictments like this? You said from your research a few months ago.
That's it.
Bitcoin's on a 24/7 trading cycle. Every other trading cycle is on an 8-hour one, 9 to 5 or whatever. So
Friday.
Automatically, that means one day equates to 3 days. Automatically, it's 24/7. The traditional market is 9 to 5. 1 day of Bitcoin is 3 days of a traditional market. So again, you multiply that a year by 3, and that's the output you're going to get from what you learn in crypto. And this guy says we haven't looked at anything a few months. Or this group says we haven't looked at anything a few months ago. So it's essentially worthless now because we don't think it'll do anything.
Yeah, well, like we've seen a lot of people go by the wayside. There is a whole list on 99 Bitcoins of all people who said Bitcoin is dead. Nobody can use it. Nobody needs it. Try saying that to people who are risking their life in Venezuela or in different countries where it's illegal and they're still like, this is the only way we can get some capital. So if it's useless to them, then I'll believe it. But if it's useless to a group of economic researchers who do it every few months, you're a dino, bro. You gotta eat that.
Yeah, eat that. I mean, it's not enough terrible things I can say about your management firm. You know, capital economics. And here's the thing, people. We're gonna get into this later on the show as well. I guarantee you, this is even I am guaranteeing you, in another, let's say, with tax today, I'll give them another 4 or 5 months. Give them another 4 or 5 months. Capital economics will be pro-Bitcoin, pro-crypto, and even try to offer some type of product, if not rename themselves to Capital Economic Blockchain. Yeah. Watch it happen. Remember where you saw it first. Keep the receipts from all this because these are the type of companies that are part of the problem, spreading this FUD. And, of course, you're going to have a bunch of investors in the UK who first time hearing about cryptos from these people saying it's essentially worthless. And because of that, capital economics, you all sound like some dinosaurs. And to me personally, you all are essentially worthless. Let's go ahead and give them that loud roar.
Give them that roar.
Sounds so sweet. Sounds so sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Let's keep getting it because I'm sure there's a whole group of them just sitting around there. Oh, Diddley Gang.
Oh, yeah. You get roars for everybody.
Oh, Diddley Gang. Your whole table just get roars. Your whole table eating your cold cuts, clocking in and clocking out at the right time of day. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. You 50-something at work talking about some yes, sir. Get out of here. Yeah. Trying to talk about crypto's essentially worthless.
Get out of here, bro.
Crypto has allowed me to sit in my pajamas on YouTube all day. I'm not trying to hear that. All right. A real story now, not just some manufactured FUD that we just saw, but, you know, a huge story actually. Not I want to say real story, huge story. Coinbase turns early seed investor with new venture capital fund. Again, people, all we're saying is somebody has to be watching our show because we just talked about this yesterday again.
Hey, man. You see the future, bro.
We literally talked about this yesterday on the show about, you know, what direction Coinbase is going as a business and then businesses in general. Turning into crypto businesses, that is, turning into lending facilities. And it looks like Coinbase is doing it. They're saying Coinbase, of course, San Francisco-based startup crypto exchange and brokerage firm, made their announcement on Thursday, dubbing the Coinbase Ventures will invest solely in companies and not crypto assets. They're being quoted as saying, we're going to invest off our balance sheet into crypto companies. Coinbase president and COO Ashif Hariji told CNBC's Fast Money, we will invest in companies that are in the space and are aligned with our values. Smart move. Like I said, we talked about it yesterday. Basically, Coinbase has a ton of capital. Tax season's here. They're not trying to give that capital back to the government. So the smart move and the smart play for them is to literally become a Silicon Valley incubator. All right. I mean, they're already in San Francisco. Makes sense. You got the Y incubator up there. You have a people with a ton of knowledge of how to do this strategically. I mean, their COO, for example, they even have a COO probably a couple years ago, whatever. So you have these strategic partners now, and that's a smart play because now, let's say they don't have to do a lot of money. You can literally take $20 million. I mean, I'm sure they're going to put more to the project. You take $20 million off their balance sheets, throw them around some smart people in the space, some good companies up and coming. All you need is one to hit. And one will hit. Yep. One will hit. One will become a unicorn. Yep. It's going to cover everything. So it's another way to diversify. You know, instead of betting all in the crypto game or selling shovels, you're diversifying to people now. So
yeah, true. And it works for big companies because, like you said before, with tax season coming, you got to do something, man. And this has been a long time practice. So yeah, not surprised.
I will give it to them. And again, this is one of those things where they're about to become too big to fail. Yeah. Even after all their shady business practices, even after manipulating the market with the Bitcoin Cash fee act, so even by giving your customer data to the United States government, they are about to become the number one. They're already the number one, but they're about to stay as the number one in the space. And to me, that's scary because it's doing what we've always done. It's going back to what we've been doing with traditional banking. And I mean, hey, this is what it is. This is what happens when you have control of the mainstream media, the mainstream narrative.
Yeah, well, shout out to them. They did what they were supposed to do from a business standpoint.
Hey, They definitely did. There we go. Anya92 said the elite is entering crypto.
Yeah.
Yep, it is happening. All right, there we go. You know what? Thanks for pointing out. Who just pointed out? Terrence Spencer. Shout out to you. Terrence Spencer said 38 people watching right now, 1 like. Hey, people, stop being scared to smash that like and share. It doesn't hurt you. What are people worried about? Why don't people like videos? That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
You get some good complimentary information. Go ahead and hit that like button. We appreciate that.
We appreciate it.
Jamal J said he saw the Coinbase dude on a CNBC plane and a lot of crypto talking their station. Oh, yeah. They all listen. Come on.
Of course, people will put out stuff like crypto's not important. It's not going to affect the market. But that's all they talk about. So, honestly,
right.
These people are using each other. Coinbase uses CNBC. CNBC uses Coinbase. Hey, it's all business. Mm-hmm.
He was talking super shilliest. Shilly. Oh, man. Yeah, so that's that. Shout out to, I wanted to give you a shout out. I saw your name. Achiba the Guy. Hey, thanks for joining.
Oh, yeah, appreciate you.
All right, what else is going on in the news today? Confirmed. Oh, here was a big rumor. We didn't talk about this the last couple of days because it wasn't confirmed. It was a rumor still floating around. We did speak about it last week, but it's been confirmed that Monex Group has acquired Coincheck. What is going on with Monex Group and Coincheck?
Well, as we stated before, Coincheck took a big hit, $500 million hit. And it looks like their CEO, in my opinion, this is what happened. They took that hit. They came to a consensus that this can't happen anymore. You got to go. And instead of him saying, I quit, I leave, whatever, we'll just buy your company for you, and then you can bow out gracefully because he did. The CEO did, step down, and they purchased it for $33.5 million. Or
got a good discount.
They got a good
discount. That's what happens.
Like I said, I would not be surprised if they somehow were people behind the hack, made them look terrible, and
billions,
and bought it for 10%.
Billions. That is business. Again,
watch Billions.
It's not right, but it's business. I can see that they actually hack them and then buy it.
Hey, put the poison in ice juice, and hey, make that stock drop or that value drop, and it's like, oh yeah, we got 30 million lying around.
Well, what's crazy is shout out to me is me, boss. I just saw her join as well. So what's crazy is that if you're just entering the crypto space, you would think some of the stuff we say is very far-fetched, conspiracy theory, and crazy.
I got tinfoil hat.
Right, but then you start to actually pay attention. You're like, oh, man, this type of dirty stuff is really going. Yes. People, it's so much stuff we don't report on, we don't talk about, we know firsthand. Because we're not trying to sever connections and networking and some of the people we know. But
you want to know the game?
Yeah, you want to know the real game. It's
some join KRBE newsletter group.
It's some crazy, some dirty stuff going on. People, I still got to, upload the screenshot of the pump and dump schemes to Instagram and stuff, so we can show people how this stuff works. But yes, it is ridiculous. So they got this at an extreme discount, and just moving forward, 2 things they can do. Of course, they can decide to keep the exchange. They can build and grow it. But I think the smarter play would be to build and grow it in the interim, and then just sell it back at the end of the year. Once the next bull cycle comes, sell it back again for $100 million. Yeah. You literally made a quick, almost $66.5 million in the span of April, 6, 7, 8, in 8 months.
8 months. Yeah.
I will build it up for the next few months and literally sell it right back at the end of the year for $100 million. They can get $100 million from that in the year. Yeah. By that time, people will forget about the hack.
Probably get more than that.
Oh yeah, you definitely could. I'm just saying, just a quick return. Yeah. So for a traditional company, you're literally looking at that's a times 3 return, 300% return by the year's end for doing nothing basically.
Yeah.
Come on.
And they also reported that they're probably going to get it back online in a couple months. So that gives them enough time to sort out whatever issues they have with security, with onboarding, whatever.
The media marketing run.
Media marketing, yeah.
Rename it or something, maybe.
Yeah, they probably come out with a new name. Instead of Coincheck, it'd be something else, Coincash or something, whatever. And then, boom, you got a whole new market, cash out, and then rinse and repeat. Because people who invest in exchanges and big investments like this, they have a plan, people. Like, these aren't just, investments out of the blue. And it did happen to come directly after the hack. So that is kind of, shaky.
They did it really quick, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
They was like, y'all trying to sell it to us $250 million?
Yeah.
Give us 2 weeks.
Yeah,
give us 2 weeks.
Give me a couple weeks.
We'll knock that price down.
We got some Russians on deck.
And for those traditional entities that watch us, because we do know a few, I've seen you. We got the analytics. Yes, we will come in and consult for your multinational billion-dollar company. Because yes, we do know the business end of what's going on in this space.
What's
clearly,
really going on, yeah.
Right? That's pretty funny. Speaking of multi-billion and multinational companies and people, George Soros prepares to trade cryptocurrencies.
Oh man,
you don't say.
Yeah, boy. George Soros.
The family office is said to have recently approved trading, but Soros was actually the person, I think we gave him Dino the day too. He called the digital assets a bubble in January.
See a pattern?
What?
Everybody calls it a bubble. Comes back later.
What's going on with George Soros?
Yeah. Well, George Soros, a.k.a. Old Face, is...
I knew he was going to say something.
a.k.a. Wreck Your Country.
Right.
Hide your country, hide your economy.
Hide your country, hide your... Bro, that is funny as I know what
like this,
hide your country, hide your economy. I like that one.
Because George Soros.
That's what the headline should have been today. Come on, man. You're killing me right now.
Because I honestly, I haven't seen much evidence against what I've just said because obviously he's done that before to make billions. And going forward with cryptocurrency, I think what's happening right now is this news is to basically get buyers, retail buyers into the market to get one last push up before the last drop down. Then they're going to enter the market. They always time the news so that you get in a flurry of, I need to buy now, I need to get into it. As we're in a bear market, this is literally because I feel like we'll go to lower levels before we bounce back up. And I think this is perfect timing for them to put this out because people are like, oh, well, this must be where we turn around at. And then, boom, you get slapped in the face with a few good technical analysis things. And then you see, oh, yeah, it really wasn't a good time. But when they are buying the bottom, these traditional entities like George Soros and other people, so to say, this is a good time, to be in the market because once that happens, institutional money is a whole different game. Right. However, I will say he's been in the market just indirectly, him and his company. They did invest in Overstock, and I believe they had some investments in other exchanges as well. So even if they didn't purchase the actual cryptocurrency,
he's been in the market.
They purchased the shovels, trust me. So get ready to buy a Bitcoin from Soros in the future.
Right.
But nah, it's one of those things, into the market. Some people have split ideas, but I think it's just a good example of institutional money not being afraid to say they're entering cryptocurrency. Right. We got them to the point to at least say it now.
Right. What's going on, Madam Crypto? A whole lot of you. Funny, Jamal J called him the Sith Lord. I know, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what? And again, we'll talk about this more, but people like Soros coming in, talking about what Coinbase is doing. The next few stories, we'll talk even more about it. But this is the part that worries us. It's like, the alternative news, some of the YouTubers and Twitter people who've been showing people the way of crypto, all this is about to be erased once all this, these big players come in because they are literally about to use the media. They're literally about to manipulate the markets. And as this next story we'll talk about, they're going to have you buy their centralized Fed coin, IMF coin, and people are going to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to say, well, this is the one that's regulated and the government said that's legal. And we're going to be like,
it's blah, blah, blah.
We're going to be like, and we're back to square one. Yep. So that's going to happen, unfortunately. It's already shaping up that way.
In the works right now.
Right. So speaking of that, R3 researcher predicts central bank digital currency will kick off in 2018. Kind of one of the things we've been saying. This is what they're trying to do. They are trying to scare you away from every crypto out there. All crypto's bad. This is bad. That's bad. Oh, but our Bank of America coin, our JP Morgan Chase coin is what you actually should buy because it's secure. It's government regulated. It's FBI insured up to 300,000 fiat dollars, even though that means nothing in this space.
Nothing. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It says Anthony Lewis, research director at Global Banking Consortium, an enterprise software firm, R3, predicted that a central bank issued digital currency, which, listen, I'm going to show you how the media works, people. They're saying CBDC is what they're calling it, right? A central bank issued digital currency. They're already coining a term.
And they put it about 20 times in this article.
Exactly.
Over and over, CBDC.
This is how they do. They want you to keep seeing it, keep getting used to it, getting familiar with it. So they're calling it a CBDC, will be implemented in 2018 in a panel discussion at the economy in South Korea April 4. For wholesale use of CBDC. I think we are looking at it this year. We have conversations with central banks. This is a quote. We've had conversations with central banks who have mandates to fix certain payment problems, and one solution they look to is a blockchain type of platform. Blockchain type of platform. We have one. It's called Bitcoin.
It's called Bitcoin. Hey, new drinking game. Take a shot every time you see CBDC in this article. You'll be drunk by 10:30.
And again, this is ridiculous. You literally see them doing it. I mean, if you know how this thing works and you're looking at the matrix from the outside, As Bitcoins, they said they literally say CBDC. I think what we need to count
let's
just real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10, 11,
12.
So in about what 6 or 7 short paragraphs composed of 2 or 3 sentences each, they say CBDC 12 times almost. Okay, people. This is what manipulation is, all right? You don't see it because it comes at you subconsciously, but just the fact that they're pushing this into your head, this is the early first story, give it another year, all right? And then people are like, have you heard about that new CBDC JP Morgan Chase coin, American dollar coin, Petro, whatever coin?
Yeah, no, right.
Again, this is the problem we worry about.
Diamond dollars.
Coinbase, George Soros, central banks, you know, all of a sudden influencing people to get into the crypto market to buy what they're selling.
Yeah. And if you start from a place where you know the media is already manipulated, then none of this seems crazy to you. Everything we're saying, you already, if you start off, it's only, they just discovered cryptocurrency. So they use the same tactics, different industry. You're not getting over on me, buddy. This is pretty deliberate. And somebody said no extra C's on my CBDs. I agree. So
that's pretty funny. John Seibert, great comment. John said it could actually be good. You can finally compare the USD, whatever coin, the crap coin on CoinMarketCap.com. That is funny. That would be pretty good.
You can get a determination of how much it's really worth.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's this is the way it works, people. And this is what scares me because they will convince people to buy this stuff, the mainstream. And the entire time, the one that's still decentralized is Bitcoin, people. No one owns it. There's a reason why, you know, we saw articles put out about Roger Ver and the Samson guy, you know, talking about Bitcoin and the Bcash stuff on stage. And
killing babies.
Right. And one of the things, some, you know, they highlight some of the comments in the article, and some of the comments were like, well, Bitcoin needs to get someone out there to speak and on the same page. That is the thing. No one owns Bitcoin. That is the power of it, people. So you won't see that one speaker. You won't see somebody always promoting Bitcoin because no one owns it. Everybody can own it, but no one owns it. So,
and most of the people that talk about it, they're willing to help people who want to be helped, like us. We want to help people who want to be helped, but nobody's forcing it on you.
Right.
Right. Exactly. Like, please buy this from me. So, you know, I don't.
But I guarantee you they're going to force that Fed coin on you. I guarantee they're going to force that JP Morgan coin.
Oh, yeah.
And you let it go long enough, they're going to force like the Burger King coin on you. All right. Yeah. They're going to give you all types of stuff. They're going, you're going to have to buy this. So
you have a food wallet, an electricity wallet.
Right.
All ran by yours truly.
All right. So speaking of, you know, mainstream trying to force you in a certain direction, Arizona blockchain bill signed into state law. A bill allowing corporations to hold and share data on a distributed ledger was officially signed to Arizona state law by Governor Doug Ducey, according to a legislation tracker April 3rd. In addition, there's actually 2 more bills that's on the table in Arizona state that would prohibit towns from restricting crypto mining, and another one addressing securities and crowdfunding, recognizing a virtual coin as a digital representation of value and authorizes function as immediate exchange and digital trading.
Nice.
You know what I want to say, but I'm going to ask you, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think them, Arizona, them trying to, I guess, make a law around it, but actually making it easier for people in blockchain is good from that standpoint. However, it is kind of weird that you have to sign a law that tells me, okay, exactly. I can do it. I mean,
you can already do it.
I'm not a child. Like, what are you telling me? Okay, you can mine now. Nobody can prohibit you from mining.
Thanks,
nobody
man.
can do it before. Like, what are you talking about?
We were doing it. You said you're doing that work already.
Yeah, so it's just like subtle stuff like that where they basically, they seem like the good guys. Because like I said, for people who are not really in the space and they just kind of go along with what they see in the news, to them this would be a positive article. Like, oh, okay, well, I can get into blockchain now and maybe do some mining in Arizona. It won't be as bad.
It's legal now. It's diddly game. Oh, you can do it now.
Yeah, but it's kind of a slap in the face for people who have been doing it.
Right.
Like, they come out with a bill, you know, saying, because I mean, people are always more innovative than government and bureaucrats. They always just a little too late, and when they come to the party, they show up like, oh, now it's okay for you to do that. I mean, if somebody showed up to the party while you was drinking, it was like, oh yeah, it's fine for y'all to drink now.
Yeah, like, that's funny. You would have had a drink.
Bro, I'm already drunk, bro. But I mean, it's like, you know, it's one of those things where I don't agree with how they do it, but what they're doing, so to say, will influence people just getting into the space.
For sure, and I agree with that. Like you said, what they're doing will influence it. But I mean, look at it. I mean, of course, this has nothing to do with Arizona, but just look at the picture. The picture is the photograph says everything. It has like the blockchain robot standing like he's Mufasa or something on the top of the Sahara Desert with all the hands raised up to him. For our podcast listeners that can't see, so they're basically highlighting it as like almost a god, and that is the problem. I mean, Sergeant Crypto, great comment. Sergeant Crypto said 1933 all over again with us turning in all our gold to the government. Exactly,
trying to indirectly.
It's something that they don't control it, and this is how they're going to do it. They're going to keep giving you these acronyms. They're going to say, "Oh, this is legal now." Oh yeah, I can't wait till the day you hear, well, Bitcoin's not legal anymore, or Bitcoin's legal now. You're gonna be like, wait, what? Where did that come from? You're like, well, we're telling you it's okay for you to do it. And like you said, you already got a drink in your hand, so
yeah, it's all good. But it's like Wyoming. It's a noble concept where they are trying. There are some good people in these House and State Senates, where they're in the House and in the State Senate that are basically trying to advocate for blockchain within the parameters of their job. So there are some good people who they know they can't go full on. Let's just buy Bitcoin. Let's start mining it ourselves, type of thing. But if you have to have rules, then you want them to be in your favor where you can actually, operate to an extent. But they are going to get that tax money, and they are going to make sure you pay whatever you owe fees to register.
Well, and then to end on this one, that's the thing about it. It's if you have to have those rules, like what is with these diddlies? Like, I mean, it literally turns them on to just have control of something.
Hall monitor.
Why do you need that hall monitor badge so bad? You really want that gold star, huh? You really got to come home with the A++, all right? Like, I forgot, I can't remember the doctor one, but it's the same. I know in the military, for military officers, when you go through training, they're like, what do you call an officer that graduates at the top of his class and an officer that graduates at the bottom of the class? A military officer. Yeah. It doesn't matter. If you get through it, they get through it. So it's one of those things where it's like these people just so bad want to be recognized for something, want to have that control over others. Yep. And it looks super late. It looks like they're going to be allowed to, as always, though.
Y'all super late, bro.
Right?
Sorry, but.
All right. Speaking of government, SEC quietly puts Bitcoin ETF proposals back on the table. Now, if you remember, there were some ETF proposals going on last year. The first big one came in March. We saw a lot of price action surrounding that. And that was from the Winklevoss twins. They tried to get the first one passed. Basically, ETFs open up investing in crypto to retail investors, which is why they really want to open it. Once ETFs are passed in the States, the floodgates can open up because now you can have investment services for mom and pops, people all around the world or whatever, which technically you can do already. But the U.S. made it illegal now, and they're saying they will lock you up if you do it. Totally unfair. We know this is the way they play. But what's interesting to look at, though, is that they allow for futures contracts from CBOE and CME, but not ETFs. Oh, yeah. Again, this is a money play, which is why all of this is unfair because on one hand, they're like, well, yeah, you can do this, but you can't do that. But because the CBOE team, they reached out to the SEC with the pen letter saying it's time for them to reevaluate the ETFs, and it looks like they may go ahead and do it. And I remember basically from the horse's mouth of somebody at the SEC last year, it got to the point where they literally wouldn't even look at any type of application for ETFs or any type of retail investments. They literally wouldn't even look at it.
Won't even open that email.
Wouldn't even open it.
Spam.
So, again, it's one of those things. How can a publicly funded agency that is paid from our taxes tell constituents, no, we're not even going to listen to your ideas. We're going to do it our way. You work for us. Yeah. How do you make that decision with a straight face? But they do, and they're allowed to get away with it. So now it looks like they're thinking about proposing a rule change and possibly allowing ETFs.
180.
Right.
Toward the 180 gang.
Toward the end of this year. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, the newest member of the 180 gang,
right.
As I just made up, the SEC, like we've seen with other people, they, first they hate it, and then they join you, later. So what it looks like is now that there's enough institutional investment and there's enough big name players, I believe, that are asking questions, now they're actually looking at, proposing these ETFs or letting them come through. Because I think before what it lacked was enough interest from really, really rich people. You know what I mean? It was interest from groups that wanted to open it. It was interest from retail investors, maybe some small mom and pops. But now that you have big groups that are in it, and then you have other ones coming along, I think they'll let these ETFs fly this summer because NASDAQ is already looking at listing ETFs by this summer. So just perfect timing for this to line up for them to start.
It's a money play.
Yeah, to start the news machine. Like, oh yeah, we're the good guys. We're gonna let this go through after they establish their rules and their protocols. So
I'm telling you right now, listen. I'm plugged in too, people. I can take one. If I see somebody from the SEC floating around, on site, all right? It's on site. We're going to have this conversation. Shout out to It's Me Boss Lady. She said, people think if there are no rulers, it is impossible to have order. But that's pretty ridiculous. It's called self-government, self-governance, self-control, and self-ownership, self-responsibility, hashtag we have standards.
Oh, yeah.
Great comment.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I mean, where do we go wrong at? Where it's just like we have to have somebody in charge of us.
Another human being.
That's that old, and that's what we mean by the Dino thing, the Dino of the day. That's that old mentality. It is the old mentality that's getting people where they're at. A lot of people have a lot of regrets in their life. They're old. They're not doing nothing. You got people, I'm not even trying to insult anybody. So, I won't say specifically what they're doing, but it's just one of those things where you don't need no one in charge of you. Just take care of business and do the right thing. Like, everything else will work itself out. So.
Oh, yeah. You're a grown adult, people.
Yeah, all right.
Act like it.
All right. Last couple of stories. Spanish tax authority seeks cryptocurrency users' details from 60 companies.
Of course.
Right? Looks like the story is actually, the story is new, but what's been going on with this is a bit dated, I guess. Some of the people in Spain said this has actually been happening already. But Spain officials' tax agency has reportedly sought names and trading data of cryptocurrency adopters by requesting the details from over 60 companies. Wow. They are saying that the authority is launching the country's biggest dragnet yet to look into tax evasion and money laundering, blah, here we go again, blah, 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 via cryptocurrencies. Again, let's not look at the banks, the thing that's been used for forever. Let's look at the thing that's only 9 years old, that's taking so much of a market share and evaded so many taxes and money laundered so much money, even though so many people have no idea what the cryptocurrencies even are still.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. I mean, Spain, honestly, we should have gave $2 a day for this one.
Yeah, I was about to say, y'all violating, bro.
Right.
But it's one of those things, like we said before, same old, same old. Hopefully people who have been watching us for a long time are starting to see the patterns that we've been telling you. But, these people aren't going away anytime soon, so
right.
You might as well get into it.
Listen, it's 3 words you all need to remember, all right? Stop being scared. If you really need me to lead a charge, I will find one somewhere, but tar and feather, people.
Yeah.
Tar and feather. You're not going to kill them. You're going to make the world wake up when it happens, though. All right? I'm telling you now. You imagine if you saw that in the news? We opened up news today and you saw U.S. SEC regulate tar and feather on the way out the door or something like that. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
People. The whole world will wake up to it, and I guarantee you somebody else will be like, you know what? They didn't kill nobody. They didn't try to seriously hurt them. Just gave them a little tar and feather.
Yeah, some of them might just want to give a neck. Like an old school neck. Give
a wedgie to somebody.
Yeah, I was like, give a wedgie.
South Korea's largest banks go pro-cryptocurrency as OmiseGo secures deal. OMG, all right. They've actually been working on that deal for a while, but South Korea's largest commercial banks, including Shinhan and Woori, continue to support cryptocurrency exchanges after Kookmin, the biggest bank in the country, denied to provide financial services to trading platforms. Hey, you don't want to do it, somebody else will.
Always.
Since then, both Shinhan and Woori have supported a series of pro-blockchain and pro-crypto initiatives. In January, the second largest bank in South Korea announced that it had begun development of a Bitcoin wallet and vault system, which bank users can safely store Bitcoin in a cold wallet. Pretty ironic. I wouldn't use it. But they did some trials with Ripple Labs and looked like all types of stuff. And then this month, Shinhan entered a strategic partnership with OmiseGo, OMG, an Ethereum-based banking and payments platform to accelerate the adoption and implementation of blockchain technology in Asia, and more specifically in South Korea.
Oh, yeah. OmiseGo. Well, we've talked about OmiseGo before.
That was actually one of our altcoins we buy.
Yeah,
way back when.
Way back when. And in Asia, I know in different places like Thailand, I think the Thailand McDonald's, the OmiseGo platform is used. And I think they're implementing, I think what OmiseGo is doing, a lot of companies are starting to do. They start to realize, in a lot of Asian companies, the power of the government to actually help them, because their company, you want somebody to actually give you money over and over and over. They have to work with the government. And I think that's what they're doing with these banks. They're going ahead and saying, hey, we'll secure this deal with the bank. We'll run the technology side of it. And we'll try to keep it, as decentralized as possible. But I doubt it. I mean, most of these companies, it's a money play. So it's good for the, from the crypto standpoint that you can make money off OMG Coin, but overall, it's really them establishing a platform so the banks can regulate what they can in South Korea or wherever else. We've already seen this regulation.
Same.
Yeah.
Same, but different, but still same. For all my Asian people, you know that saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, nothing new. Again, people, today's news cycle is what they wanted it to be. If you haven't noticed, they know what they're doing. It was government, regulator, evil George Soros, and evil Coinbase.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what's crazy? If you were before crypto, if you felt like life was okay, we could do everything, you're not really trapped. After crypto, you should have a very good definition of how you can basically get your finances and all your ideas trapped by government bureaucrats. Like they literally have spent the last 2 years coming up with ways to regulate it without fixing problems of the old regulation system. So it's like anything new, like somebody said, locking people in jail for daring to compete with banks without a license. Exactly. Bankers work with lawmakers. Lawmakers work with bankers, and that's what we have now. So
yeah, they're not doing anything new or innovative. As Bitcoins, they said they haven't even fixed their old legacy systems. Yeah. And they don't even know about crypto, but they have the audacity to say, you know what? We don't know anything about this industry. Yeah. We haven't done right by our own industry, but we're just going to dump everything over here and come over here. Why? Because we have guns. Oh, yeah. That is really it. Other than that, I would say, do you have anything? Oh, free Bitcoin Day. What are we doing?
So for the free Bitcoin, the George Soros buying Bitcoin, do you think it is positive or negative? I've heard both sides, both pretty convincing. But let us know what you think. Put your public address. Remember, put it on YouTube, and we'll send you that free Bitcoin.
And then also, shortly, probably about another hour and a half, we will be releasing a new review video. It is a sponsored video, so of course, if you don't know, if we do the sponsored videos every now and they're short, probably 5-10 minutes tops. You just take a quick peek at it, but it's going to be for Havven, HAVVEN.io. So we're going to do a quick review on that. Again, our reviews are very quick. It's a decentralized payment network. So we'll just do a quick 5 or 10 minute brief outlook on it just to introduce it to you. It is up to you to do your own research before you decide to or to not invest in it. But we do want to let you know that video is about to come out soon. So make sure you subscribe. You'll get that notification as well. Oh, yeah. That'll be out in an hour. Go ahead and click on it for 5 minutes just to show them that at least you all paid attention to it. What you do after that,
smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button on it too for us. Appreciate it. Other than that, you all have a great weekend. Let's throw this outro cam on. There we go. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Smash that like and share button. As always, if there's anything you'd like to see, we love constructive criticism. So go ahead and put it in the comment section. If you're on iTunes and you listen to it on the podcast, please go ahead and rate us wherever you want to rate it. Is great. We just need those ratings to boost that algorithm. And other than that, you can contact us at KRBEcrypto.com with any questions or concerns.
Oh, yeah.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Cheers.
Put some powder on your chest.
Too funny.